Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you've joined me today because we're about to dive into a fascinating and truly inspiring topic, the chosen ones, how to live with purpose every day. Do we all have a special purpose in life, a unique mission? It's a question many of us ask ourselves at different points in our lives. And how do we live each day with a clear sense of purpose, with intention and meaning, even in the face of challenges? These are the questions we'll explore together today. What does it mean to live with purpose? And how can we tap into that energy every single day? The idea of the chosen ones is often misunderstood. It's not about having a destiny handed to us on a silver platter, but rather, it's about understanding that we have the power to choose our path and to live every day with a clear vision of what matters most to us. It's not always easy, but when we discover our true purpose, life becomes so much more vibrant and fulfilling. Today, we're going to break down what it truly means to live with purpose and how you can begin to make every day count in your own life. I'm sure that all of us have had moments in life when we felt lost, uncertain, or unclear about our direction, right? At times, it can feel as though we're drifting through life without any clear goal or path. We go through the motions, trying to make it through the day, week, or month, but we often struggle to see the bigger picture. Perhaps you've asked yourself, what is my purpose? What am I meant to do? These are tough questions to face, and often they arise when life throws us a curveball. It could be after a major life change, a loss, or even when we're stuck in a routine that no longer excites us. But here's the thing, when you discover your true purpose, when you find that inner calling, everything changes. Suddenly the pieces begin to fall into place, and life feels so much more meaningful. Purpose doesn't have to be some grand, life-altering thing. It's about finding something that gives you joy, focus, and drive. It could be your career, your relationships, your passions, or the way you help others. Once you start living with purpose, you'll notice a shift in the way you approach each day. No longer will you be reacting to life, you will be proactively engaging with it, bringing a sense of clarity and intention to every moment. Today, I'll share with you some powerful lessons and suggestions from people who have discovered their purpose and have lived their lives with intention. These are people who have been chosen to live with purpose. And while their paths may seem extraordinary, the truth is that we all have the potential to live this way. The good news is that it's possible for any one of us to take the steps toward living with purpose every day. The key is understanding that it's not about a singular moment of epiphany, but about the small, consistent actions that lead us to a life of meaning. I've seen so many people shift from a place of uncertainty to one of clarity and fulfillment just by embracing the idea of purpose. And I believe that you can do it too. If you're feeling unsure or unmotivated, know that the answers are within you. It's a matter of connecting with what makes your heart sing and aligning your actions with your deepest values. That's what we'll explore in this video, and I hope that by the end, you'll feel inspired to start taking action toward living your purpose every single day. If you find this topic interesting, and if you feel inspired by what we're discussing today, don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. By subscribing, you'll get more inspiring stories, tips, and messages to help you discover your own purpose and live a more meaningful life. Let's keep this conversation going and continue exploring how we can all be the chosen ones in our own lives, bringing purpose, passion, and clarity to everything we do. Thank you for being here with me today, and I can't wait to dive deeper into this journey with you. Before we dive into how to live with purpose, let's first understand what it really means to be the chosen one. There's a common misconception that the chosen ones are people who are destined for greatness, who are somehow born with extraordinary powers or missions that separate them from the rest of the world. In many cultures, stories about chosen people revolve around figures who are granted special abilities, powers, or divine destinies, often portrayed as superheroes or larger-than-life figures. But I believe the true concept of the chosen ones is much more nuanced and accessible to all of us. The reality is that the chosen ones aren't necessarily people with superhuman powers or missions that the world sees as monumental. They are ordinary people like you and me. What makes them chosen is that they live with clear goals, values, and a strong sense of purpose. These individuals are the ones who, day by day, make conscious choices to align their actions with their vision, using each day as an opportunity to move closer to fulfilling their larger purpose. Their extraordinary ability lies in their intentionality, how they approach each day with purpose, passion, and meaning. Being a chosen one isn't about being picked by some divine force to achieve greatness. It's about choosing to live a life that is aligned with something greater than yourself. It's about embracing the idea that every day is an opportunity to make a meaningful contribution, no matter how small. The chosen ones live with intention, constantly striving to contribute to a larger cause, whether that's improving their community, spreading love and kindness, or simply being the best version of themselves for the people they care about. While many of us may not feel like we have been chosen for some grand task or destiny, we all have the power to live with purpose. It's not about waiting for some special moment or divine calling to tell us what to do. It's about making the decision to start living intentionally, day by day, with the understanding that we are all capable of leading purposeful lives. Let me tell you about a friend of mine who discovered her purpose in life after going through a life-changing experience. Her name is Julia, and like many of us, she spent much of her life unsure about her true purpose. Julia had always been a hard worker, diligent and dedicated to her career, but she felt like something was missing. Despite her outward success, she often felt a sense of emptiness, as though she was living her life without a clear direction. It wasn't until she experienced a significant life event, a health scare that shook her to the core, that Julia began to seriously reflect on her life. At the time, she was working in a corporate job, climbing the ladder and living what many would consider a successful life. But as she sat in the hospital room, recovering from her surgery, she realized something crucial. The life she was living, while stable and secure, wasn't fulfilling her deeper needs. She wasn't contributing to the world in the way she truly wanted to, and she didn't feel that her daily work aligned with the bigger picture she envisioned for herself. It was during her recovery that Julia had a moment of clarity. As she spent time reflecting on her life, she realized that her true passion had always been helping others. She had a deep desire to give back, to make a difference in her community, and to use her skills and experience to support causes that mattered to her. This realization wasn't instant. It came after weeks of reflection, conversations with mentors, and a lot of self-discovery. But once she understood what was missing, everything started to fall into place. She made a decision. She would shift her focus from climbing the corporate ladder to pursuing a career that aligned with her passion for helping others. It wasn't an easy decision. There were doubts, fears, and obstacles along the way. But Julia embraced the idea of living with purpose. She started volunteering in her community, working with local organizations that supported at-risk youth, and eventually transitioned to a role where she could dedicate her professional skills to non-profit work. Julia's story is a perfect example of how anyone can be chosen to live a purposeful life, even though it may not always be easy. She didn't have some extraordinary divine calling or mission that set her apart. What made her chosen was her ability to listen to her inner voice, understand her true calling, and take action to live in alignment with that purpose. It took courage, self-reflection, and commitment, but through her journey, Julia found deep fulfillment. She now wakes up every day knowing that the work she does isn't just for herself, it's for a greater cause. Her story shows us that living with purpose is available to everyone. It's not about having everything figured out from the start, and it's not about waiting for a sign from the universe. It's about making the conscious decision to choose purpose over routine, meaning over material success, and service over self-interest. By doing so, we unlock the potential to live lives that are truly fulfilling and impactful, not just for us, but for the communities we're a part of. What's important here is that the chosen ones don't just live for themselves. They know they are contributing to something bigger than themselves. It could be a cause, a community, or a larger goal. They understand that their actions have ripple effects beyond their immediate surroundings, and they choose to live with intention, knowing that their purpose is not solely about personal gain or achievement. The difference between someone who is chosen and someone who isn't is not about greatness or fame, it's about mindset. It's about the decision to approach each day with a clear sense of purpose, to align your actions with your values, and to contribute to something greater than yourself. The chosen ones recognize that the real measure of success isn't in accolades or material wealth, but in the impact they have on others and the legacy they create. So, what does it mean to be chosen? It means having the courage to live with intention, to seek out your purpose, and to serve others in a way that brings meaning to your life and theirs. It's not about being set apart, it's about choosing to stand up and make a difference, no matter how small, in the world around you. And you don't need to wait for some extraordinary moment to begin this journey. You are already chosen, in the sense that you have the power to choose how you live each day. By living intentionally, embracing your passions, and contributing to a cause that matters to you, you step into your own power and purpose. Just like Julia, you have the ability to transform your life and create a ripple effect that touches others in meaningful ways. By choosing to live with purpose, you become one of the chosen ones, living a life that is deeply connected to your values and to the world around you. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. So ask yourself today, what's my purpose? What am I here to contribute? And how can I begin to live each day with intention and purpose? The answers may not come all at once, but by taking small steps each day, you'll begin to see the difference you can make. In the end, living with purpose is about more than just personal fulfillment. It's about making a difference in the world around you, no matter how big or small the impact may seem. We all have the potential to be the chosen ones in our own lives, and it's through living with purpose every day that we can fulfill our true calling. So, how can we live each day with purpose? The first step in this journey is to figure out what your goals are. For many people, this might not be immediately obvious. You might not wake up one day and instantly know what your life's mission is, and that's completely okay. It takes time and self-reflection to truly understand what excites and drives you. The important thing is to take the time to explore your passions and what brings you a sense of meaning. Living with purpose doesn't mean that you have to have it all figured out from the start, and it certainly doesn't mean you need to have a grand vision of changing the world right away. Purpose can be found in the everyday actions we take, the small steps we make towards something greater. One of the first things you can do to start living with purpose is to listen to your heart. Take a moment to reflect on what excites you, what makes you feel alive, what activities make you lose track of time. Is it helping others, learning new things, creating art, or something else entirely? Identifying what brings you joy is the first step toward understanding your purpose. Finding your purpose can be a gradual process. It doesn't require an epiphany, but it does require introspection. Take time to sit quietly and ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? What kind of impact do I want to have on others and on the world? These are deep questions, and they may take some time to answer, but they are crucial to helping you understand what your purpose might look like. Purpose isn't just about doing something grand, it's about doing something that feels right to you, something that brings a sense of fulfillment to your soul. Once you've started identifying what truly excites and motivates you, the next step is to turn that passion into action. A great way to live with purpose every day is to start by setting small goals that align with your larger vision. These small goals act as stepping stones that lead you closer to the life you want to create. They may seem small in the moment, but over time, these small actions add up to create a bigger impact. Start by setting 1 or 2 achievable goals every day. These could be simple tasks that you can accomplish in a day, whether it's helping a friend, completing a project at work, or simply learning something new. For example, if your purpose revolves around helping others, you might set a goal to perform 1 small act of kindness each day. It could be something as simple as holding the door open for someone, or offering a kind word to someone who's having a rough day. If your purpose is about learning and growing, your goal might be to read a chapter of a book, take an online course, or practice a skill for 20 minutes. These seemingly small acts may not seem significant at the time, but when practiced consistently, they lead to huge shifts in your life. The beauty of setting small, manageable goals is that they create a sense of accomplishment and motivation to keep moving forward. As you check off each task, you'll feel more confident, knowing that you are taking active steps toward living with purpose. And as you continue to take action, you'll begin to see how these small actions create a ripple effect. Helping one person today could inspire them to help someone else, and learning something new might inspire you to keep growing in that area, ultimately contributing to the larger vision of your life. Living with purpose doesn't mean you need to take on monumental tasks right away. It's about making conscious choices every day that align with your values and goals. Over time, those small actions will begin to build momentum, and you'll find yourself living a life that feels more aligned with your true purpose. Another powerful way to live with purpose is to create a daily routine that brings you closer to your larger goals. Routines are a great way to establish consistency and discipline, and when done intentionally, they help reinforce your sense of purpose. A purposeful daily routine doesn't have to be rigid or exhausting. Instead, it should align with your values and reflect your larger mission. One way to create a purposeful daily routine is by planning your day with intention. This might involve taking time in the morning to set clear goals for the day, aligning your actions with your bigger vision. Start each morning with a brief reflection on what you hope to accomplish, both in the short term and long term. Write down the tasks or activities that will bring you closer to your goals and prioritize them. By setting a clear intention for your day, you'll ensure that you're moving toward your larger purpose rather than simply reacting to life's demands. This intentional approach to daily planning will help you stay focused and motivated. In addition to setting daily goals, incorporating mindfulness into your routine is another great way to live with purpose. Mindfulness helps you stay present in the moment and brings greater awareness to your actions. Whether it's through meditation, breathing exercises, or simply pausing to reflect on your feelings and thoughts, mindfulness allows you to align your actions with your deeper intentions. By being more mindful of how you spend your time and energy, you can ensure that your daily actions are in line with your values and goals. Another practice to consider is taking time at the end of each day to reflect on what you've accomplished. This reflection doesn't need to be lengthy, but it's important to acknowledge what went well and what you could improve upon. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small, and recognize areas where you could do better. This reflective practice not only helps you track your progress, but also encourages continuous growth. It allows you to reassess your goals regularly and adjust your actions accordingly, ensuring that you are always moving forward toward your purpose. Having a routine that focuses on intentional living can significantly enhance your sense of purpose. A routine doesn't just structure your day, it structures your life in a way that brings clarity and focus. By consistently taking action aligned with your goals and reflecting on your progress, you're creating a lifestyle that's in harmony with your purpose. Living with purpose is not something that happens overnight. It requires reflection, action, and intention. But by setting small, achievable goals each day, creating a daily routine that supports your larger vision, and consistently evaluating your progress, you can begin to shape a life that feels deeply aligned with your true purpose. Purpose is not something that exists outside of us or in some far-off future. It's something we create every day through our actions, choices, and mindset. By living intentionally, you can create a life that's not just filled with tasks, but filled with meaning. Living with purpose every day sounds like a simple and straightforward concept, but in reality, it's filled with challenges. While it's inspiring to talk about living with intention, the day-to-day practice of it can be difficult, especially when the journey is long and the results aren't immediately visible. There will be moments when you feel defeated, exhausted, or when you question whether your efforts are making any difference at all. These moments of doubt and frustration are part of the process. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate rewards, or when things aren't going as planned. You might start to wonder if living with purpose is even worth the effort when the obstacles seem insurmountable. For many, it's not the lack of motivation or drive that becomes the issue. It's the long road to achieving meaningful goals. There will be days when the weight of the world feels heavy, when distractions and setbacks get in the way of progress. You might find yourself feeling stuck, unsure if your daily actions are leading you closer to your purpose, or if you're just going through the motions without seeing real change. When the going gets tough, it's easy to fall into a mindset of defeat. These moments of doubt can be discouraging, and it's easy to wonder if your purpose is still as important as it once felt. But here's the truth. The key to overcoming these challenges is persistence. Even when it feels hard, even when it feels like you're not making any progress, you have to keep pushing forward. The obstacles you face are part of the journey, and they will ultimately shape you into someone stronger and more resilient. It's in these moments of struggle that your true commitment to living with purpose is tested. Life will never go perfectly, and there will always be roadblocks that challenge your resolve. But the power lies in your ability to continue, even when things seem impossible. It's important to remember that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. The road to living a purposeful life is filled with twists and turns, but each step, no matter how slow, takes you closer to your destination. The challenge, then, is not to avoid obstacles, but to face them with resilience and a renewed sense of determination. One of the best ways to overcome these difficulties is to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. When the going gets tough and you feel like your efforts are futile, reconnecting with your core motivations can provide the clarity and strength you need to keep moving forward. It's easy to get caught up in the struggle and lose sight of the bigger picture, but remembering why you started in the first place can reignite your passion and remind you of the impact you want to have. When you truly believe in your purpose, you'll find ways to push through the obstacles that come your way. During challenging times, it's important to recognize that it's not about perfection. No one has a perfectly smooth journey, and no one's path is free from setbacks. The key is consistency, not perfection. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Small actions, done consistently, are what build momentum and create long-term change. So don't beat yourself up when things don't go according to plan. Instead, focus on continuing the journey. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, you're one step closer to your ultimate goal. A powerful way to stay focused is to regularly remind yourself that you're doing something bigger than yourself. Whether your purpose is to help others, create something meaningful, or contribute to a cause, remembering that your actions have a greater impact than just your own life can help you push through moments of doubt. You're part of something larger, and the work you're doing is meaningful, even when it's not immediately evident. Sometimes, just reflecting on the fact that you're contributing to the well-being of others or the world can reignite your passion and bring a renewed sense of purpose. When you face challenges, remember that they are just stepping stones on your path to making a lasting difference. It's also helpful to celebrate small victories along the way. When you're working toward a long-term goal, it's easy to focus on what you haven't achieved yet, instead of acknowledging how far you've come. Taking time to celebrate the milestones, no matter how small, helps you maintain a sense of accomplishment and keeps you motivated to continue. Whether it's completing a small task that contributes to your larger goal, or simply making it through a difficult day, these small victories are proof that you're moving forward, even if it doesn't always feel that way. Remember, living with purpose is not a race, it's a journey. And just like any journey, there will be days that are easy and days that are hard. Some days will feel like you're making huge strides, while others will feel like you're stuck in place. But the key to living with purpose is not about racing to the finish line, it's about embracing every step of the process. Enjoy the moments of growth and appreciate the lessons you learn along the way. The struggle, the challenges, the setbacks, they're all part of the process. When things don't go as planned, don't get discouraged. Instead, embrace the challenges. These challenges are an opportunity for growth. They are shaping you, teaching you resilience, patience, and perseverance. Without challenges, there would be no growth, and without growth, there would be no progress. So, when you face obstacles, take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is all part of the journey. You don't need to have everything figured out today, and you don't need to be perfect. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one step at a time. The journey of living with purpose is not always linear, and it's not always easy, but it's worth every step. Every moment of challenge, every setback, and every small victory builds the foundation for a life that's rich with meaning and fulfillment. So, when you find yourself struggling, remember that it's all part of the process. The hard times are shaping you into a stronger, more purposeful person. Keep going, trust in the process, and know that every challenge you face is a stepping stone on your path to living a life filled with purpose. And finally, always remember that you are not alone. You are part of a larger community of people who are also walking their own paths, facing their own challenges, and striving to live with purpose. We all face obstacles, and we all have moments when we doubt ourselves. But when we support each other, share our experiences, and encourage one another, we make the journey a little bit easier. So keep going, keep pushing forward, and keep believing in your purpose. You are capable of overcoming any challenge that comes your way. And by doing so, you will create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and true to who you are. So, as we've seen today, through these stories and lessons, being a chosen one doesn't mean having a superpower or being destined for something extraordinary in the way we often imagine. Instead, it means living each day with purpose, confronting the challenges that come our way, and continuously working towards something bigger than ourselves. It's not about achieving perfection or having all the answers. It's about taking consistent steps toward living a life that aligns with your values and goals. Living with purpose is about the decisions you make every day, no matter how big or small, that bring you closer to fulfilling your true potential. The most important thing to remember is that we all have the ability to live with purpose. It doesn't matter how big or small our goals may seem in comparison to others. What matters is that we are focused on what truly matters to us. Whether it's making a positive impact on a small scale or working towards something greater, every action we take with intention adds up and shapes the direction of our lives. You are capable of living a life of purpose, and that purpose can be found in everything you do, every day. Every one of us can be chosen to live a purposeful life. And the best part is, you don't need to wait for a special moment or a grand event to begin living with purpose. Start small. Take the first step today, even if it's just a little one. Make today meaningful. The more you focus on what truly matters to you and the world around you, the more you will discover your own unique purpose. You have everything you need within you to start living with purpose right now. The world needs what only you can bring. Your talents, your passions, your voice, they are all part of a bigger picture, and by embracing your purpose, you contribute to something much larger than yourself. Thank you so much for watching today. I truly hope these stories and lessons have inspired you to start living with purpose, no matter where you are in your journey. If you found these stories helpful and meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more inspiring stories and messages on how to live with purpose. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community that's committed to growth, purpose, and creating positive change. Wishing you all the best on your journey toward a purposeful and meaningful life. May you always find the courage to live with intention and to pursue the purpose that makes your heart come alive.